Hey guys, and welcome back to another discussion. Today we're going to be talking about our top 3 picks from our manga franchises. So let's jump into it.
Yep. What is your number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is something that guaranteed a lot of people have heard of. Like, if you haven't heard of this, I'll be quite concerned. It's One Piece. So
One Piece?
One Piece, yeah. What is One Piece? I've never heard of it before. It's only got 1,000 chapters.
Actually, 1,001 by this point.
Honestly, like, One Piece is probably the one anime that I genuinely like. I think I watched it on TV at first. It was the crappy 4Kids dub.
I avoided it like the plague.
Yeah.
I wasn't into that.
I watched that and I actually got really into it. I thought that the series was really good. And then obviously it stopped at a certain point and I was like, I need more of this. And it's the first anime that I decided to actually look for on my own. I started streaming it. And
when
honestly,
you say streaming it, are you one of those like back in the day when YouTube didn't
yes, it's streaming when we could stream. So basically watching an episode of One Piece in 3 different parts on the YouTube. That's what it was.
Man, we're old.
And then like it had sometimes you'd have to deal with like some crappy fan subs as well. Whereas they spelt Luffy, like I think it's the German way that they say Luffy, whereas Rufy. So it's R-U-F-I.
That's better than a friend who recently went to me. What's that one series you used to read? It's got that guy in it. What's his face? Fufi?
Fufi? Fufi? Oh, it's the best knockoff I've ever heard. But yeah, One Piece, like I can like why it's a big anime. It's like it's huge. It's got like it's your typical shonen where it's just like bunch of characters, superpower, King of the Pirates. Like I feel like I don't need to describe what One Piece is because I feel like it is just like it's a massive adventure series. They go to different islands, beat up the bad guys. It's what you want from like your shonen series, basically.
Look, I said it once and I'll say it again. If you haven't seen it by this point, because we're going to talk about old series, most likely, if you haven't seen it by this point, that's your fault.
Yeah, 100. Well, that's the weird thing about One Piece is that there's that meme right now because it is so long. Like honestly, like it's been going like just as long as Hunter x Hunter.
Gone way longer than that.
Yeah, it's been going. It's been what is it? They celebrated their anniversary this year. One of the years as well. It might have been last year. But it's been going since it was back in 2018. What am I talking about? Or 2019, one or two.
I think it was 19 because I think I was actually in Japan at the time when they were celebrating.
Yeah, but honestly, it's like the best selling. It's the best selling manga of all time, isn't it? Best selling manga in anime.
Is it?
Like,
oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's out. I think it's outsold Dragon Ball now.
How dare they?
I believe, and it's even. I think it's the number. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's number 3 or 2 on the best-selling graphic novels of all time. So it's beaten. I can't remember which one it is. It's like because I know the top 3 were Batman, Superman, and One Piece, and One Piece has overtaken one of them. I feel like it might be Batman. I could be wrong, but
interesting.
Like honestly, the series like it's like. I know, like, some people have a go at it. It's like, oh, it's not the best story, really. And like, I can understand, yeah, it technically is a bit drawn out, like, especially in the anime. The anime is incredibly drawn out. But, like, I just love it because it's just, like, it's one of those series that I just got into. It sort of really helped me get into a lot of other anime and manga as well. And, like, the characters are so unique as well. All the drawings, the powers... Like the ideas of like all the different islands and like all the different people that are on them, like it's like Ichiro Oda's like whole mind is just like what is he gonna do next as well? Like the wacky designs, a wacky and like story.
It is worthy to note. He said he is only 70% done.
Yeah, 70% done at the time of Wano as well. So who knows?
And that's the most recent
how long that's
stuff.
going to be.
So
And like that's the thing. I don't know how long it's going to go on for, because you think, oh, 70% done. It could be over in about 200 chapters. But you think about Wano, that's been going on for like, what was it, 2 years or so? I feel longer.
I think I read an interview that he did, and in that interview, he said he reckons it could go for another 10 years.
The man is minted off it, to be fair. Look, I feel like some of it, like, he takes regular breaks as well. I think he takes a break once every 2 chapters.
Look, when you've done 1,000 chapters, mostly weekly, I feel like you deserve it.
Yeah. It's like, and it's like one continuous story as well, like across the whole thing. There's like loads of side stories as well, where you might see like Shanks fighting like Whitebeard or like Blackbeard trying to destroy someone or whatever. But it's just one of those ones where it's the whole big story. Like when you look at, I think it's Kochikame is the other, like the longest running series, like longest running manga and anime. Not anime. I think I don't know about the anime, but the manga went on for like, God, it must have been 30, 40 years, I think. Something like that.
Fair.
And like One Piece has been going for 20 odd, I believe. And it's just like, yeah, it's just one of those series that I've just loved since I was a teenager, kid, watching it on TV. And yeah, I just love it. You go into Japan and you see it everywhere as well. It's the most like over commercialized thing in Japan ever.
It really is.
You'll go to like, you go on like the subway and there's posters of it everywhere. Like there's I've seen when the coronavirus first came around, the Japanese voice actors all actually did a short animation. I think like they did a thing before the episode telling people to stay in their homes or something ridiculous like that.
Hey man,
like that's how big like it was.
If you ain't gonna listen to the Straw Hats, who are you gonna listen to?
It's so true. It's like, oh yeah, you just want to hear Frankie saying, "Hey, stay inside." Super.
If like, Fufi D Monkey tells you to stay inside, you bloody listen to Fufi D Monkey, yeah?
Oh mate, I want to know what the character design for Fufi D Monkey is as well.
Do you know what? It's probably the typical like you take some like, you know, after the 2-year time skip, when they come back and they're like, "Oh, the Straw Hats are here," and it was like those 2 guys just pretending, probably something like that, something
He's
real like
100%
derp
that.
looking, and he probably has like on his like straw hat, he probably has his name Fufi like stitched across it or something, and you're like, yeah, that sounds about right.
There's I'm on the One Piece subreddit as well. There's an artist on there that's been, you know, like in the what you just described,
yeah,
the knockoff Luffy. There's one Redditor that's actually going through every single One Piece character and creating knockoff versions of them.
Oh mate,
and
I would love to see Fufi. And his
I'll have to find him. If I
hats.
can find him, I'll put a link in. I'll put a link in the description. But it's so brilliant. All his designs are great as well. Like, but yeah, that's just so like it's not. I haven't gone into great detail, but how much detail could you go into for a series?
You really don't need to. It's one of the best-selling series. It's one of the top shonens, and I've barely spoke about it, but like I feel like I don't need to. I'm also a fan of One Piece, and by this point, just go and start. If you're not into anime, try the manga. It's a lot shorter. Some of it dips story-wise, but push through, trust. It gets better. And like everything is ramping up really, really hard. And again, 70% through. Do you know what I mean?
That's one thing as well. Like they've only really just announced who the end boss is. Like, and that's like 1,000 chapters in.
Dude,
you don't even know who that guy is. You just seen the silhouette of him.
It's Fufi.
Oh yes, the one person Luffy's most afraid of.
Fufi. Yeah, you know, like in Legend of Zelda, where at some point you fight Dark Link, is Luffy versus Fufi.
Dear God. Okay, yeah, that's Nathan's just spoiled the ending of One Piece. That's what he's done. He's just ruined everything. You don't even need to watch One Piece now. He's ruined it.
Yeah, I'll take my dividends now, Oda.
If this actually happens, Nathan, you have to like contact Oda and be like, I deserve. I
I've
have
got
video
proof,
evidence.
Yeah. Here it was. Check in the mail. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Oh man, this is where we find out Nathan's uncle is actually Ichiro Oda.
No, this is where you find out I'm
typical.
Ichiro Oda.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
Nani?
Nani kore?
Right. Oh right. Right, Nathan. What is your number 3 then?
My number 3 is, I feel like by this point people probably know it for the memes and the music. It is Initial D. The best drifting series. Some amazing artwork, by the way. A lot of the time you will see like the anime, but seriously, look at the manga. The guy goes into amazing detail when he is drawing speed lines and cars. It is amazing. But I do feel like the internet mostly knows it for Deja Vu and other Eurobeat and clips from the anime.
It's literally all I know it for. I know that you would absolutely love it, like, and I know, like, I think I actually got an Initial D toy way back in the day, but I didn't even know what it was. But I know Deja Vu. I know Running in the 90s. And...
It's not for everyone, because it is very. It actually can get quite technical when they talk. Like, some of the characters are talking about, like, oh, I bought this car and it's this model and this is the modifications. I've done it specifically so I'm perfect for the downhill touge of this mountain. Touge is the Japanese word for like mountain pass. It's all about street racing and drifting. So it's not for everyone. It's one of those where it's a battle manga, but it's unconventional because it's not people directly like fist fighting or using weapons. It's about the races. And it's just really iconic. Again, nowadays it's mostly a meme, you know. But it's, for its time, it was amazing. And it's influenced a lot of people. There's a lot, unfortunately, there's probably a lot of weebs out there who are like, I'm going to go to Japan, I'm going to live there, I'm going to buy myself an AE86, which is the main character's car, and I'm going to drift around delivering tofu on the mountains.
Is that actually what it is about?
Okay, so that's how it starts. The main character...
Okay. I wasn't sure if you just made that up.
No, I literally haven't. The main character, Takumi, his family owns a tofu shop. And the reason he's so good at driving is because he lives in the Gunma prefecture, and the mountain, they changed the name. It's, in real life, I believe it's Mount Haruna, but in the series it's called Mount Akina. And his dad was previously the Drift King, like the most renowned drifter in all of Japan. Everyone knew Bunta, right? His dad. His dad secretly was training Takumi to drive. He would send him off at the age of 14, early in the morning, to deliver tofu from their shop to the hotel/onsen resort, like, on the other side of the mountain. But Takumi learns to drive the car properly. This tuned AE86 that Bunta had been driving previously, by putting a cup of water in the car, in the cup holder, and telling him not to spill a drop. And basically he learns to drift because it's a lot of hairpin turns, like very tight corners. And over time Takumi learns how to put the car sideways, going around corners, so that the water doesn't spill. And like, for a lot of people, that's like, if you've never seen anything but memes and stuff, that's probably what you know, is that I'll deliver tofu and I gotta drive and not spill water in the car. But that's literally like chapter 1. The rest of it is that Takumi doesn't like driving. He never liked it before. Like, he just did it because his dad made him do it for the family business. He then has like school friends who are all about drifting, and like the first group he ever runs into is the I think they called themselves the Akina Superstars, which was like the local group, but it turns out they're real crap. Like, they don't know anything. And Takumi, like, sits in with these people, and they're driving thinking they're, like, you know, they're top dog, because no one's come to challenge him because they're unknown. And he sits there and he's screaming, and everyone thinks, oh, it's because I'm so good at it, right? And then they get in his car. They're screaming because he's actually a drifter. These other people, they're just like kids with modified cars. And it eventually grows to Takumi joining a rival group and creating a new group, which is, they call it Initial D. That's why the series is called Initial D.
Okay.
It basically just follows the story of Takumi and this group going from area to area, like prefecture to prefecture, mountain to mountain, taking down the next group and showing, essentially, it's kind of like growing the illegal motorsport.
So, like, is there, like, quite a big, like, illegal motorsport, like, scene in Japan? Like, I don't know much about it, because I don't know how big this is.
I'm not sure how big it is, but they do still, seriously, people drift on mountain passes in Japan.
Okay.
And it's actually quite organized. I've watched a few YouTube channels, and I still do, of people who follow and or are part of these scenes. Obviously, the people who are, like, heavy into the scenes probably don't post a lot of YouTube videos, because you can... Obviously, it's an illegal activity. Like, you're not supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, seriously, it is... I know over here we only ever see it in, like, movies and games and stuff, but, like, it is actually a thing. It is actually a thing. And, like, Takumi is based off of a real tofu shop and person in Gunma Prefecture.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Like, seriously.
Okay, fair enough.
They had that car and everything. Like, they did actually used to have an 8086, that tofu shop. And
so, like, the fact that, like, this is based off someone, does anyone know who this person is, or is it just like a mystery?
Again, the videos that I watch on YouTube, one of the guys I watched, actually, he used to live in Gunma, and he was driving up Mount Haruna, or Mount Akina in the series. He did actually happen to run into the guy Takumi's based off of. And he's the guy who he's based off of loves the series.
That's mad. Okay.
Like, I think the guy still lives in the same location the tofu shop used to be in. I don't think the tofu shop's operating anymore. I could be wrong. And this video is a couple years old by this point, maybe up to 5 years at max. But yeah, like, it's based off of a real person who was real good at driving these mountain roads. Maybe he didn't drift it, but, like, he was pretty fast going up and down the roads. And again, like, a lot of these mountain passes, people have done video series where it's actually very accurate, if not 1-to-1. Like, you could go to some of the locations he's drawn because they are actual real life locations.
It's really cool, man. Okay, I didn't actually know there was that much into it. I just assumed it would be that sort of, like, just a racing.
No, that's the thing. Like, there's actually a lot of realism in it. Like, the cars are real. They're drawn incredibly accurately. There's some details that I've seen online are like, maybe that's not so true. But, like, generally, a lot of it is based in real life, and you could own those cars and do those types of modifications. There's not, like, specific parts, but, like, you could do that. Like, you could genuinely do that. Again, Mount Akina is Mount Haruna. They changed the name of the mountain, but it actually exists in Gunma, and you can go there, and there's a museum there dedicated to cars, and there's a little... there was a little section dedicated to Initial D, because obviously that's, like, the big thing for the Gunma prefecture. There's not really much else. Most people go there because they're into Initial D. And because it's, like, a hot spring town, so...
Yeah. Is it still ongoing, the series?
No, Initial D itself ended ages ago. There is a continuation series, though, and it's called MF Ghost. It takes place... I don't remember how many years, but it takes place in the same world, just in the future, focusing on a new character. But they do mention original characters before, and the main character of MF Ghost was trained by Takumi Fujiwara, the main character of Initial D.
Okay.
And in MF Ghost, they drive the new Toyota GT86, or the newer one. I think there's another model maybe coming out, but that's a different thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically still going on, just under a different name in the future, new characters, but like the old characters are involved. Like in MF Ghost, everything that is set up now is set up because the old characters did it. But yeah, seriously, if you like really cool looking art, I would look it up. If you like cars, you might like drifting, look it up. The anime is pretty good. I think at times it gets a bit weird because I think the only time it came out was early 2000s, so it's like 3D CG and it's not always the best, but because it's early 2000s. But like, give it a go. Initial D is an amazing series and I love it. And there you have it, guys. Our number 3 picks. What did you think? Do you like One Piece? Do you like Initial D? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you get notified on our next video. See you next time.